In the history of the justice system, executions have been the ultimate punishment for severe crimes. But what happens when these sentences go horribly wrong? Today, we're exploring the unsettling stories of botched executions, how these tragic errors happen, and the staggering statistics behind them. A botched execution occurs when the process of carrying out a death sentence fails to go as planned, leading to prolonged suffering or unexpected outcomes. For centuries, human error, technical faults, and even biological factors have led to executions going horrifically wrong. There are several methods of execution, each intended to be swift and definitive. But when these methods fail, the results can be both shocking and tragic. Let's look at the most common forms of execution and how they've gone wrong. Historically, hanging was widely used, but the technique required precise calculations. If done incorrectly, it could result in strangulation instead of a swift end, causing the prisoner to suffer for minutes, even up to 30 minutes in some cases. Introduced as a supposedly humane alternative, the electric chair brought its own set of horrifying possibilities. In cases where voltage was insufficient, the prisoner could suffer severe burns while remaining conscious. The gas chamber, intended to be less violent, often led to prolonged agony. Prisoners were seen convulsing and gasping for breath for several minutes before finally succumbing. The modern method, lethal injection, is seen as the most humane approach, but this too can go wrong if the drugs are improperly administered, leading to a painful and drawn-out process. Let's look at the data. Between 1890 and 2010, at least 3% of executions in the United States were botched. Among the different methods, lethal injections had the highest botched rate, up to 7%. These percentages may sound low, but when we're dealing with lives and human suffering, every single case is a tragedy. It means that hundreds of individuals experienced severe pain or distress in their final moments. Many botched executions have been documented in history. Let's look at a few cases to understand the severity and unpredictability of these events. At 17, Willie Francis survived an initial electric chair execution due to equipment failure. He was later executed successfully, but his story brought national attention to the risks and ethics of capital punishment. Joseph Wood's lethal injection in Arizona went disastrously wrong. It took almost 2 hours, with witnesses reporting he gasped over 600 times before passing. This led to an outcry over the use of lethal injection drugs. Another tragic example is Clayton Lockett, whose lethal injection in Oklahoma was botched when the vein collapsed. He ultimately suffered for 43 minutes before passing, leading to reforms and suspensions in the execution process. Another tragic example is Clayton Lockett, whose lethal injection in Oklahoma was botched when the vein collapsed. He ultimately suffered for 43 minutes before passing, leading to reforms and suspensions in the execution process. But why do these executions fail? Botched executions often result from technical issues, human error, and in some cases, medical complications in the prisoners themselves. One primary cause is human error, from faulty equipment setup to improper drug doses. In recent years, shortages of drugs used for lethal injections have led to experimental combinations, which can increase the risk of failure. Medical issues such as obesity, damaged veins, or unusual physiology have also complicated executions, making it difficult to achieve the intended outcome. The high-profile failures of botched executions have fueled debates on the ethics and legality of capital punishment itself. Advocates for abolition argue that no method can guarantee a humane death, while supporters emphasize accountability for the most serious crimes. Some states have paused executions due to botched attempts, while others have switched methods in search of a more reliable process. With the ongoing controversy and ethical questions, what does the future hold for the death penalty? Some countries have abolished it altogether, while others are investing in research to make the process safer. But will that ever be enough? Botched executions remind us of the serious responsibility and potential flaws within the justice system. Whether or not one supports the death penalty, understanding the risks and realities is crucial. Thank you for watching. And if you found this video informative, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below.